भीमातीरनिवासाय पंढरीपुरवासिने पांडुरंगप्रकाशाय विठ्ठलाय नमो नमः. मरुत्पुत्राय कवये भीमाय भयहारिणे श्रीमदानंदतीर्थाय प्रख्याताय नमो नमः. Dear children of God, Jai Sri Krishna, Namaste. As I was doing the satsang yesterday, it suddenly dawned on me that I should speak on the seat of the sages. While the West calls it the pulpit in the church, we in Hinduism have given a very significant appellation to the chair of the religious preacher. It's called Vyasapita, the seat of sage Vyasa. For the common man to understand, I call it the seat of the sages. All of us know from times immemorial, sages have been eloquent speakers in our holy scriptures. They sat on mountain tops, they sat in thick forests, they sat on the banks of the holy rivers, they sat in temple courtyards and preached endlessly. They were all knowledgeable. They were realized souls, dedicated to God 24/7, endlessly preaching the wisdom of our scriptures for the benefit of humanity. They did not desire fame or name. They lived like mendicants. Their wealth was the wealth of wisdom. They were attracted by seekers of knowledge and came to them uninvited, oh no, sent by Krishna. When Parikshit was death-hunted and death-haunted, he sought the remedy for the curse which afflicted him. Many sages had gathered on the banks of the Ganga, yet they also wanted the enviable master called Shuka to occupy the seat of the sages. Even when ordinary speakers ascend to the seat, a radiance shines on their face, their eloquence grows, their popularity increases, their interpretation is brilliant. All this happens only when the speaker has humility before he sits on the Vyasapita. Remember, dear devotee, Vyasa is Vishnu and Vishnu is Vyasa. The master of the world has many a time become a preacher too. He has spoken at length to Arjuna on the battlefield to teach him the mortality of the body and the immortality of the soul, the need for duty to be performed without desire for the fruit of action, the way of devotion to be adopted to reach the Lord. He even gives a video presentation of his cosmic form to impress on Arjuna that he is not a cowherd boy, but the master of the cosmos, around whose little finger whirls the entire world. He, as a preacher, educated Uddhava in the philosophy of wholesome renunciation, highlighting spirituality. Hence, any preacher who occupies the seat of the sages has to be reverential towards it. It's not an ordinary political slogan-shouting podium, but a holy channel to open the gates of immortal knowledge. The seat of the sages demands humility from the speaker, without which the wisdom of the sages will not flow through him. He has to submit like a flute, empty of ego, for the multiple voices to enter his voice and come out with astounding interpretations. Let no speaker feel he is brilliant. His brilliance is only a pale reflection of the past speakers, whose wisdom subtly enters him when he is occupying the seat of the sages. The seat has special qualities. It does not allow a man to talk what he wants, but makes him talk what he should. It gives special talent of analysis, elaboration, seeking analogies, quoting offhand from various texts, an enviable eloquence which he never possessed before. These and many more talents leave the self-conscious preacher humbled. He is forced to answer unconsciously all the silent questions raised in the minds of his sensitive audience. What is this ordinary preacher without the seat of the sages? He is just a mumbling, fumbling individual, confused and confusing. But blessed by Krishna, the dumb becomes eloquent and the lame climbs the mountain. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yat kripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. जय जय द्वारकाधीश प्रभु, जय जय द्वारकाधीश, तन मन धन सब तुझको समर्पण, मांगे हैं आशीष. ओम जय जय द्वारकाधीश. थैंक यू.